Chapter 45. That night, I worked on my secret idea. A letter to the editor. Dear editor, as an immigrant child, I am deeply saddened by all of this Proposition 187 and anti immigrant sentiments in the news. They are not reflective of the community of people I know and love. America is a country built by immigrants. People from all over the world came here to settle, like my parents, who gave up their careers as an engineer and a scientist so that I might have a brighter future. And my best friend's dad, Jose Garcia, who's one of the kindest, most giving people I know, and who has taught me many things, including the value of hard work. Jose Garcia came from Mexico 8 years ago. For years, he toiled in the Central Valley heat, picking grapes off prickly vines until his fingers bled. Some days, the sulfur and chemicals were so bad he coughed himself to sleep. Later, he became a pizza delivery man, risking his life to deliver pizzas. Then, after that, he taught himself how to fix the cable and became a highly skilled cable repairman. You wouldn't believe the channels he can add to your TV. He has a wife and a daughter who's 11 years old like me. His daughter's math is so good she's going to become one of those crazy math people like my mom, who has pieces of math in her pockets. But her dad may not be there to see it because as we speak, he's in a San Diego County jail facing deportation proceedings. I urge you, kind editors and readers, to stop your and to write to your congressman and your senators to stop the deportation of Jose Garcia and to vote no to Proposition 187. It is inhumane to take education away from children. We have done nothing wrong. We are the future, and we have hopes and dreams just like you. Vote no to hate, no to deporting Jose Garcia, no to Proposition 187, and no to Governor Wilson. Sincerely, Mia Tang, age 11. I reread my letter 1,000 times, proofreading it according to all the grammar rules Mrs. Welch taught me. She was right. Learning the rules made me sure, not just guessing. As I was finishing up the letter, Lupe came bouncing into my room. Guess what? She said. I just got off the phone with a reporter for Latino News. She wants to interview me. She's not the only one, Hank said, walking in behind her, his eyes shining. I just got off the phone with Channel 2. They want you on camera. Channel 2? As in TV? Lupe asked. That's great, I said. But Lupe took a step backward. I don't think that's such a good idea. Listen to me. It's going to be fine, Hank reassured her. I'll be there, right there with you. I'll be tomorrow after school. But Lupe's hand shook the way her dad's did whenever the health department came by to inspect. In class the next day, Lupe sat at her desk, looking at a big green and nauseous, while the other kids talked about Michael Huffington, a politician running for Senate. The papers reported that he and his wife had employed an undocumented immigrant to take care of their kids for 5 years. 5 years, Stuart shrieked, squeezing his fist with his hands, like the kid in Home Alone. Bethany Bratt was playing with her ruby necklace. My dad says everyone needs illegal aliens to clean their house and take care of the kids. Lupe muttered to Bethany. They can do a whole lot more than that. What did you say? Bethany asked. I said they can do a whole lot more than that, Lupe repeated, louder this time. I looked up in surprise. All right, Lupe. And it's not illegal aliens, Lupe added. It's undocumented immigrants. Bethany Bratt rolled her eyes. Whatever. Then Mrs. Welch said, Did you guys know that Michael J. Fox and Arnold Schwarzenegger worked illegally in the U.S.? Schwarzenegger? Stuart asked. With that, my classmates instantly dropped immigration and launched into a debate on which was better, the Terminator or Terminator 2. I just smiled at Lupe and Mrs. Welch. They both smiled, surprised me so much that day. Their comments made me feel like this was my school, no matter what anyone had scribbled on the walls. I found Jason sitting on the floor in the hall later that day, right below the spot where we rubbed off that awful graffiti. Hey, he said. Anything? I asked, pointing to the wall. He scooted over so I could see. No new words, thank goodness. So you gonna tell me why you kicked me out the other day? I thought we were friends. We are friends, I sighed, and sat down next to him. I had about 10 minutes before Mrs. Welch sent someone to look for me in the bathroom. You really want to know, it had to do It has to do with what went down with Lupe and her mom worked for you guys. You kind of kicked her out first. He started shaking his head, but suddenly he gasped. His face turned a mortified red. That was years ago, he said. I was only like 8 years old. I took a deep breath, not knowing how to explain that even if it seemed like a long time ago, to Lupe the memory was still very much alive. That wound had solidified, growing more powerful and pungent, like my dad's leftover oil. Anyway, he went on, my mom's the one who did that, not me. She's the one who got all mad. I turned to him. Like she got mad at me at the motel that day, I asked. There was a flash of guilt in Jason's eyes. Then he looked down. I'm sorry for that, he muttered. He looked genuinely embarrassed, but I could tell he hadn't forgot about it either. It's okay, I muttered back. I leaned over and bumped my shoulder with him. See, that wasn't so bad. Jason shook his head. But I can't apologize to Lupe now. It'd be so weird. I looked into Jason's eyes and said, it's never too late to say sorry. I started getting up, but he reached out and touched my arm. Mia, you gotta understand this. I was a little, and I was scared. I thought about that for a second. It's okay to be scared, I finally told him. But you know what's even scarier? Realizing something is wrong and not saying anything. Jason glanced at me and I reached to pull him up. You can do it, I said. You've done it before.